Hey everyone, Holden here with Gold Plating Services. Today we're going to be talking about one of our activators, Woods Nickel Strike, and its role in the electroplating process. In this video, what we will discuss is what metals can be activated by the Woods Nickel Strike, the distinct attributes of the Woods Nickel Strike, the advantages and disadvantages of using Woods Nickel Strike, what you will need for the Woods Nickel Strike to work, and how to use the Woods Nickel Strike when plating. Woods Nickel Strike is used after a piece has been electrocleaned and properly wet out. It is the second step in the electroplating process, which is the activation step. Here's a list of the metals that are best activated by Woods Nickel Strike and those that are not. You can see that Woods Nickel activates steels. This includes stainless steel, carbon steel, mild steel, and metals with high chromium content. It is important to note the common metals we do not recommend using with Woods Nickel Strike. It is too strong of an activator for these metals, and if used on them, will likely overactivate the surface, resulting in darkening or staining. Woods nickel is distinct from our other activators in that it deposits a thin layer of nickel while activating the surface of your metal. This can help prevent oxidization that occurs quickly on some metals like carbon steel. It is possible to overactivate your items regardless of the activator you are using. But because Woods Nickel Strike is so strong, overactivation can occur more quickly. It also has intense fumes when it is being used, so we recommend reviewing the safety data sheet that can be found on our website and implementing whatever safety precautions you feel that are necessary. The advantages of using Woods Nickel Strike is that you're able to activate steel and stainless steels, and it is an affordable activator for this purpose. The disadvantage of using Woods Nickel Strike to activate steels instead of one of our other options like Tri-Val is that the thin layer of nickel that deposits on the surface is usually not visible, so you're not able to easily observe if there is certain issues in the plating process before moving on to the next step. Also, because Woods Nickel deposits that thin layer of nickel onto your item, it is not the best activator to use if you need your plating process to be nickel-free. Another disadvantage, and this applies to our international customers, Woods Nickel Strike cannot be shipped internationally as a ready-to-use solution, but you can, however, purchase the base of the solution if you're able to source the hydrochloric acid to mix with it yourself. If you are an international customer and have sourced the hydrochloric acid, you can go to our website and buy the other half of the Woods Nickel called Additive N. It is important to note that if you are using Woods Nickel Strike as an activator in your setup, you might need to include surface activator in that setup as well. The reason for this is if you are plating with a metal such as bright nickel and your piece dries out some point in that process, or you're just done plating for the day, then when you go back to apply the gold, you'll have to reactivate your item. But now that your item has a different metal on it and it's not steel or stainless steel, you can't activate it with the Woods Nickel Strike. You'd have to go in some other activator like surface activator to activate it. We are going to go over just a few things in order for your Woods Nickel to work properly. The Woods Nickel solution is the same solution used for both brush and bath plating. The anode that is required for both brush and bath plating is a nickel anode. Your solution works at room temperature. The voltage for Woods Nickel can vary between 5 and 7 volts. This depends on your plating parameters, and I would suggest looking at the TDS for Woods Nickel Strike to find out exactly what voltage is needed for your part. It is best to not leave your parts in Woods Nickel for very long, so we recommend 10 to 20 seconds for bath plating. And for brush plating, you will need to do it for a little longer, about 20 to 30 seconds. Woods Nickel Strike is a quick step, so make sure you're not over-activating it because it can darken the surface of your part, but also make sure that your part does not begin drying out between the steps in the plating process. If this occurs, you will need to start over with step 1. So we're going to move on to plating with our Woods Nickel Strike. As you can see, there are some bubbles forming on the surface of the item, and this means that your activator is working. It is hard to tell, but as we use the Woods Nickel Strike, it will deposit a thin layer of nickel on the surface as it activates our item. When brush plating, if your item has metal on the surface like nickel and you're doing the transition between the two, make sure to not activate the nickel. Again, Wood's nickel strike is only used and recommended for steel surfaces. I hope this video on our Wood's nickel strike has helped you have a better understanding of why it is important to use our Wood's nickel strike. If you have any questions about our Wood's nickel strike, please contact us via phone or through our tech email. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.